Hey, what's up, y'all? Happy Monday. Hey, y'all. Hey, thank you. Shanae, thank you, boo. All right, let's get into this read. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afro Zine. And today I'm reading for the Beautiful Handsome Collective. Hello, Collective. How you doing? Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. To book a private reading with me or to shop in my store, all that information is in the description box below. Okay? Did you grab your copy of this book here? It's called Wisdom Beyond Wounds. It's readily available for purchase on Amazon. Okay? This book was created to assist the collective with navigating and healing from extreme forms of narcissistic abuse here. Okay? Narcissism is very prevalent and very relevant today in today's world here, and a lot of people that have went through some form of a narcissistic abuse here is may feel, you may feel embarrassed, you may feel shamed, you may have a lot of different feelings that you're going through here. So this book here is to help guide you out of feeling shame or guilt for something that you did not do. Okay, so definitely make sure you grab that copy. It is on Amazon. Yet again, thank you for your immense support. Let's get into this read here. Channel message is played and unpaid. Played and unplayed. Please keep in mind that this is a collective read. Not everything that I'm going to mention to you is going to resonate. Take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? Okay, I don't. Okay. Anywho, take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay. So, channel message played and unplayed. They wish it never did this to you. So they're realizing now that people put them up. So whoever this resonates for, okay, friend, family, ex-lover, ex-spouse, whatever, however, okay. But there is a person here who was in that person's ear to do things towards you here, okay. They're now getting an epiphany, or they having that aha moments here where they felt like that they were set up to go against you here. So if you were in a good connection, or whether it's platonic or romantic here, surrounding a friend or a spouse or ex-lover or whatever here, things were going pretty good for you guys until you start to see a different side of them here. And the reason why you saw a different side of them here is because, hey Bear, thank you. The reason why you saw different sides to them here is because people were like pump faking, or they were more so giving them fake information surrounding you here. So they were trying to get that person to get away from you because they did not want that person to be around you for whatever reason they had for their own personal intentions here. So that person played into the actual play here, and money was actually involved in this here. People are scrambling now because that person that they put up to come towards you to do foolish things towards you here is wanting answers, and they're not receiving the answers in regards to what they think that they should receive here, okay? So that person is now like spiraling out of control. They're very upset because they felt like that they have lost the best thing that they have ever experienced or encountered, which is you here, okay? So there's someone that's in their head right now, and they're trying to figure out how they can fix the situation or hash the situation out so you guys can be on one accord or one level here, and that's not going to work. They feel really bad because they put a lot of money into this, but they put a lot of money into basically destroying themselves here. So this person is now in a huge deficit financially, spiritually, psychologically, emotionally, physically as well here. And they're blaming the people that put them up to do this towards you. They're blaming them. Despite them blaming them, the crowd of people that came towards you here, the crowd of people that told them to do this towards you here has now left them high and dry. So now all the egg is on this person's face here surrounding what they have done to you here. Also, I saw in a meditative state that someone woke up blind, like actually blind. I sat in meditative state and I heard cries and shrills. And then I just saw someone's eye. All I could saw was the eye. I didn't see the actual body of the person, but I just saw the eye and it was white in color. And then it turned red, completely red. So this person's eyes may be filled with blood. I'm not an ophthalmologist, an optometrist. I'm not any of those specialties here. I'm just telling you what I saw in my meditative state, okay? But there's someone that's going blind and there was some kind of like blood that were coming out of their eyes here, and they've been complaining that their eyes have been hurting for quite some time here. So that tells me here that they were using their eyes as a form of like evil eye or projections in that kind of way here to kind of you know, when somebody don't really like you, and they may not say it, but their face may show it. They don't really have to say as much, but when they're around you or when you're around a person, you can tell when someone is very off surrounding their energy when it comes to you. They may look at you a certain way. They may look at you in disgust. They may look at you with envy and things of that nature here. And I feel like that's what this person was doing here. They were looking at you in a form of envy here. They may have never said anything to you or towards your face here, but behind your back, you can just feel the evilness or the darkness in regards to how they felt about you here. So this is like a strong, I guess, karma, payback, however way I want to look at it here. But someone is really struggling with their eyesight right now, like really, really, really bad. They may have seen a doctor, or ophthalmologist, or optometrist surrounding their eyes here. But it looks like that they're really losing both sides of their eyes here and they're not able to see, or more so, I'll put it in this way from a spiritual aspect here. They're no longer able to kind of like spew or shift their evil eye onto you here or project their evil eye onto you here. So yeah, there was blood in the eyes and they're kind of freaking out here because they can no longer see. But I really feel like they're realizing, because of how hateful and of course trying to be harmful towards you here, that they realize that all of this wasn't worth it. So now they're in a what's that stage? They're in a I guess you could say acceptance stage. They're finally accepting things for what it is. It's still a hard pill for them to swallow. So yet again, they're trying to see if they can hash it out with you. But I feel like that train has completely been left, or that plane has taken off already. So they're kind of like stuck on the runway, if that makes sense. I also saw in my meditative state, I saw someone with a door. Okay, it was a white door, but they actually painted the door. So let's say you have an actual physical door, but in the middle of the door, right, it was black. So someone didn't, so it was a white door and someone painted half of the door or the middle of a door in black. And then there was some writing on the actual door as well too. To me, it looked like some form of like a foreign, unrecognizable, it could be like sigils, you know, something to that nature here. And what they were trying to do here is that they were trying to stop, well, I'll say me because I saw it in my state. They were trying to stop me from actually seeing past the door. So that tells me here, and I can look at it from a different way, a door is also a portal, okay? You can look at a door as a portal. And they were trying to stop me from opening a specific portal so that way I can't see what they're trying to do towards the actual collective here, okay? But of course, I was able to more so penetrate past that and basically walk through the door here. And once I was able to get past the door, that's when I saw that the person was complaining of their eyes, and they were literally crying their eyes out physically, spiritually, etc., etc. They're crying their eyes out because they didn't want people to see exactly what they're going through, like basically behind closed doors, if that makes sense. Someone's name could be Emerson. Okay, that also popped up in my meditative state. And then also when I did get into the room, finally, the whole room was red. So the room was painted in red, okay? To that person who was doing that, to me, that represents some form of like anger, okay? When I got in the room, it was very hot and fiery, very chaotic. It was, you can just tell, or you could just feel that this person was just filled with rage or anger. But I feel like most of it was more so in their eyes, because they will really watch you closely or quietly. They don't want you to be aware that they're watching you, but yet again, you can see it in their eyes that they're very hateful and they despise you in some way, you know what I mean? And it is getting the best of them here now. So you're going to hear about someone losing their eyesight or actually losing their eyes, but take that how that resonates here. And then this will confirm that what I've said to you was actually true here, okay? But all in all here, a lot of people are now wishing that they never did this towards you, because they never experienced this type of extreme karma before, and it's very extreme, it's very lengthy, and it's very, very harmful to them. It's harmful specifically towards their psychological parts of self here. Like they're not there, they have to accept it, but they refuse to accept it. So there's like a tug and pull, or a push and pull, if that makes sense, in regards to what they have done and basically what they should have done or what they could have done to, you know, not allow it to get this far. I strongly feel, let me find the word. I don't want to use that particular word. Okay, like a dam. I'll just use a dam as an example. Like, you know, where beavers create an actual dam, and they put all the sticks and rocks together to create some form of like a blockage so that water can't get through. That makes sense. So I'll put it in that perspective here. They were putting a lot of sticks or stones. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words would never hurt me, in that kind of way. And they thought that since since their words weren't hurting you, they thought that the next thing that they can do were use sticks and stones in this kind of way. And the more that they keep cultivating or creating these sticks and stones, it actually created some form of a blockage or a barrier here, right? But not for you. The barrier was never for you, okay? Because you were never stuck, if that makes sense. The illusion that the blockage was there, they wanted you to play into that illusion, which is the reason why they thought that you were stuck. But yet again, you were never stuck, okay? So the moment that you awaken, of course, you were able to kind of see, oh, this is an illusion here. You were able to plow through it here. So again, all they do is play with people's point of view or perspective here. Or what is, okay, let me focus. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me, okay. So that being said here, so yeah, so they were using the sticks and stones, could be metaphorically speaking, but physically speaking as well too. They thought that that would have been enough to keep you from getting past what they did not want you to see. So yet again, I'm going back to the door that I saw in meditative state here in regards to not wanting me to, or I'll just say the collective, to have access past that actual door. So this is why they painted the door a certain way, because again, it gives off an illusion that it's scary, or give off an illusion that you're not supposed to pass that or go past that, if that makes sense. So the white door in the middle was black, and then when I actually, and then it had sigils on it, but it was written in white color. So the sigils were white, and then when I just kind of opened up the door and passed through it, then I saw the actual room in all red here. Then I saw someone sitting down on a bed here, and they were just like kind of like bawling or crying their eyes out, but they had their hand in their eyes here, and they were trying to figure out like how they can kind of like regain they're trying to regain focus over their eyes, because they've been living in the form of an illusion for a very long time. And I can even spit it in this way as well too. So the moment that things did start to become more focused for them to see, it was too much for them to bear. It's like basically kind of like staring in the sun, if that makes sense. So it's like, oh, my eyes, this is too much for me to take. I can't take this, I can't bear this, or they can't witness what they have created, or the pressure that they place on their eyes based on the illusions that they thought were true. That makes sense? Yeah, trickery or trickster is in reverse, but I'm just going to show you upright. Somebody could be from New Orleans, or you could be from Louisiana here. I'm almost certain Louisiana have these type of like Mardi Gras colors here. Okay, or somebody could be from New Orleans, or may have traveled to New Orleans to do darker things, darker spell work and things of that nature here. Okay, but it's just falling, literally it's falling on deaf ears or blind eyes. So it's being returned back to them here. So they feel very tricked, and they feel very played. They feel played and unpaid or underpaid. They played into the illusion, and they thought that they were going to get a big jackpot once they played into the illusion. It can also mean in form of a casino as well too, like they gambled in a way, if that makes sense. So they keep using this false facade of this gambling machine here, and they keep trying to put pennies or coins or dollar bills or whatever into this slot here, and they keep trying to see if they can hit that jackpot here. But in a way, they did hit the jackpot of themselves, not of you, but more so of them here. So this is why they feel played and underpaid, because, or unpaid, because they have put a lot of time, effort, and energy into trying to subdue you, or in trying to make sure that you go blind. Okay, y'all may have had issues with your eyes at one point in time. That's going to correct itself, or it's going to fix itself. Okay, that's however that resonates for you here. But yeah, this trickster energy is being shown upright, and people are seeing just how tricky this person is here. They can't see. Even if you look closely here into this mask, or whatever you want to call this here, you don't even see the full variation of the actual eye, okay? You see that something's off of the eye, that like there's no pupil, there's no cornea. You just see the actual eye socket in that way. So yet again, the ability to be able to see, and this can also be prophetically as well too. They're not able to be able to see in a way that they could have been able to see before, but there's strong relations or strong connections to the south. Okay, again, for however this resonates here, I strongly feel like someone may do may work with like Mami Wata, may work with the Baron, Baron Samedi, Marie Laveau, those type of energies there. But those energies could actually be very tricky if you're not careful, if you don't know what you're doing here. And I'm not going to get into that, because people have to learn. Just because you see something doesn't mean that you should go try it and playing with something, if that makes sense. So they played with something that they had no knowledge of, or they paid other people that they thought that they can keep their hands clean, and allow these individuals to kind of take precedence, or be able to kind of just take initiative and to do the things here. But it's all backfiring here. And this is why, yes, come on, spirit, altar, come on. Okay, and if you look closely here, it's even purple. Purple represents spirit. Okay, purple represents spirit on this altar here. Yes, come on, spirit, talk to me, boo. Yes. Someone's name could be Alan. You could be from Allegheny. Maybe your name is Allegheny. Allegra. I'm also hearing allegory. Let me look up that etymology real quick. Give me 1 second. Allegory. I want to look up the etymology. Allegory. Allegory. Figurative treatment of an unmentioned subject under the guise of another, similar to it in some way. Figurative language. Another, different. Right. Trickster. That makes sense. Allegory, trickster. So they tend to show up in a certain type of mask, or a certain type of different way, so people can't see past the illusions here. Allegory. Okay, so that makes sense. But going back to what's stated here in regards to the altar here, this person's altar may have catch a fire as well too. Their candles could be popping. Their candles could be cracking under pressure here, because you are big pressure. Spiritually, you are big pressure. If you don't know that, you're soon going to know that, okay? Yeah, okay, everything makes sense here. Somebody could be eating, so there's gonna be a lot of southern things today, okay? Could be Gullah Geechee, or you could be from the Gullah area. Maybe you're watching Gullah Island, okay? Maybe you have family surrounding the Gullah Geechee area. I believe that's in South Carolina. Please correct me if I'm wrong, okay? I'm also hearing the name benzoin. I think that's some form of like a ointment or something that you could put on your skin. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just flowing with whatever comes through, just comes through here. But going back to this trickster and altar here, okay, that makes sense. This trickster spirit that was showing up as such here, when they went to their altar here, they feel tricked by their own altar, or they feel tricked by the spirits that they worked with here, okay? So they feel like their eyes and their mind is playing tricks on them. So we do have counseling here. So now they're trying to figure out how they can counsel the situation, or how they can get out the situation here. They're wanting to talk to someone, but if they attempt to talk to someone, they're going to incriminate themselves. So it really feels like they're stuck in between a rock and a hard place here, because they know that if they do speak out, people are going to be able to put all the pieces together and realize what's what here. So they want to counsel, but they may not feel like that they can counsel, because they know for a fact that they're going to be severely judged here. Oh, plot twist. Yep, plot twist. That's the plot twist. Again, the altar that they have set it up here. Okay, they may have a picture of you. They may have some form of specimen of you, meaning your hair, your saliva. I mean, they even went as far as to take in, women's unsanitary napkins, okay? Just for, and just doing a lot of odd things with it here, okay? To make you basically subdue to them or be submissive to them here. But none of that has worked here. But the plot twist here is that this altar that they thought was the altar that they have created to use as a form of an illusion here. The real illusion is in the altar, because what they're seeing is not what's what. Hopefully that makes sense. They thought it was going to give them some form of an outcome, and it's not. It's giving them the complete opposite here. So the altar is also a seeing thing as well too. They put certain things on there. I see a cigar on there. I see a big shell on there. I see someone taking the shell, and they have like a dragon blood sage, and they are like trying to smoke out things here, and everything is just the fog as well. Okay, this is all figuratively and actually spiritually and physically, but take it how it resonates. But they're trying to like use this smoke here to kind of like fog it up, so that way people can't really see what's going on here, and people are still being able to see, because yes, even though there's smoke, or even though that's fog, eventually that's going to have to clear up, if that makes sense. And that's what's happening here. Pink slip. It's nasty. People get into some stuff spiritually. Okay, that's another topic for another day. Okay. That's another topic for another day. That's why when you're on your menstruals, I'll give you this tip though. That's why when you're on your menstruals, you don't go to other people's homes. When you're on your menstrual, you take your actual menstrual, you dispose of it on your own time. You don't leave it at someone's home, because you don't know what people are capable of doing, and people are willing to do some really crazy stuff there. Okay, so that's just for the women there, and also for men too. If you're being intimate with a woman and you think that she may be doing something towards you, you take care of the condom. You don't leave the condom there, because people do some really odd things to bind you. Okay, they sure do. They're realizing that you are a unicorn, okay? You're very different. You don't follow the crowd. You don't follow what other people do. You tap to your own beat. You're your own drummer, if that makes sense here. And they can't understand it, which is the reason why they went incognito, so they can get closer to you. So they thought that, number one, you wouldn't be aware of this altar. And it's not going to resonate for everybody, okay? Just take what resonates and leave the rest. But they thought that by going incognito or going dark or hiding themselves, again, the illusion here, they thought that you would not be able to see past it. But because you are a unicorn, meaning that you are tapped in, meaning that you are connected to self, and you're able to receive the downloads here, to them it makes you seem like you are very, very rare. Because how is it that you're able to connect to something that they cannot see? So they feel like that you are in an illusion state. They feel like that something is off with you, or they feel like something is delusional with you. And none of those things are true with you for the ones that resonate, of course. Again, they have to see it to believe it. And because they can't see it, they cannot believe it, which is why they keep going back to this altar here. And they're like, well, you know what? That person's sounding crazy. They look crazy, and they doing all this weird stuff, da, da, da. You know what I mean? Well, let me just go incognito, and let me just pray on this altar here. And they can do whatever it is that they want want to do. Because all they're doing here is that they're just showing their hands in regards to who's really who here. And now that all of the smoke and the fog has cleared up here, you're actually able to see this person in its true element here in regards to being that trickster spirit here. And that's what they can't take. You're able to see past their eyes. You're going past their eyes and you're looking on their soul or their energy imprints or their energy signature here. And you're realizing that this person is not who they say they are, which is why, yet again, they were trying to hide from you. They were trying to physically hide from you. They were trying to spiritually hide from you, and it did not work because themselves, they were caught up in this illusion here. And you bursted. Yes, you did. Once you pass the eyes, meaning the vanity point in regards to what they're trying to show towards you here. So black light is here, right? In this instance here, okay? You are that black light, meaning that you can see past things or you can see even in the dark. If that makes sense, you have X-ray vision. If that makes sense, spiritual vision. I'll put it that way. You have spiritual vision where you can utilize your black light to be able to see past what they were trying to hide from you here. So we got denied here, okay? So yeah, now they are denied. I'm hungry. Y'all, excuse me, I hear my stomach growling, okay? I worked out, but I didn't eat yet. I should have ate, but I'm gonna eat after I get off of here, child, okay? But yeah, they have been denied, or access have been denied, or their spiritual gifts have been denied from you or from doing these foolish things here. So this is why the ex-spouse, ex-lover, ex-friend, whoever, however, child, they were listening to other people to get on the bandwagon to come against you here. They're realizing that every time they try to come up against you, they get denied. They lose a job, they lose money, they get sick, they get ill, you know, they lost a car. They're just losing a lot of things, or more so asset things in their world here. And yet again, this is where the trickster energy comes in here, because they use those tools, those resources, cars and money and things of that nature here, to put on a facade so that way you can't see past that. So basically they are the fool's gold in true nature. Everything that they do represents fool's gold, if that makes sense. So it's most people who are not awakened or have not awakened yet are not able to see past the fool's gold. And when you're able to look at fool's gold from this perspective, it looks very gaudy. It don't look real, and it doesn't look authentic, if that makes sense. So this is why the tower has hit, because you were able to pass the portal of that door and you're able to see exactly what they're going through here. And this is why they're upset. Somebody could be listening to Destiny's Child. I'm hearing that song. I woke up this morning, the sunshine is shining. I put on my happy face. I'm hearing that. So we have cloak here. Yeah. The only thing that they thought that they could win or subdue you or make you submissive to them is if they were to cloak their energy. They cannot cloak their energy if they're out here causing foolishness and riffraffness and detrimental chaos towards other people. Their energy would never be hidden. I don't know who came up with that idea, thinking that, oh, let me go hurt the collective and let me hurt an innocent person, then let me go hide. It doesn't work that way, bruh. It doesn't work that way. Okay, it just does not. You cannot cause harm to another person and then go run and hide. What the it just doesn't work that way. Even so, cloak is here. Do you see that key behind that person's cloaking? They left a major piece despite them cloaking themselves. That major key, that major piece here that they left behind. And if you look closely here, there is wings on this actual key. So they're not even aware that they have left this key behind. And then this key, all of a sudden, when they do their foolishness towards you here, that this key is now, which was once hidden, is now being found. So it's in plain sight to see. If that makes sense with the unicorn, you are the key. You are. You are the key. And they were never expecting that. They thought that they were. They created a maze, but they don't have instructions to the maze that they created. Now they're trying to get out that said same maze that they created here, and they're trying to find some form of an out here, and they cannot because they never had the key. I hope that makes sense. You were the key. They were trying to hide you, but they only ended up hiding themselves for a very period, small, short, temporary point of time here. And the moment that the key came out, which is you, with your unicorn, beautiful and handsome self here, everything went to shh. It went to a watery elephant, Apollo watery elephant shit. Oh man. Okay, I'll answer your question. Preston states on YouTube, I just don't be understanding why people do all of this. I'll break it down even further for you, okay? Because people feel like that they can get away with hurting other people, however that resonates, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, however it resonates for you here. They feel like that they can do things that is very justifiable for them to hurt other people and then run away from it. They don't want to take accountability, which is the reason why they feel that they're in the right to do these things. As I mentioned to you in my meditative state, a person was trying to hide or trying to cloak the door, which is a portal. Your eyes are the window to your soul. Not so? Your eyes are the window to your soul. And they were trying to do everything possible with that door, because we spoke about the eyes initially when I first came on here, and they were trying everything possible to cloak the door or to shift the narrative of the door or to change the color or the perception of the door, so that way I could not go through the door. They did not want me to go past the vanity point of the door. Well, if I color this with shit, if I paint this up with shit, they won't think it's shit. They just gonna think it's something real pretty. But once you're able to step aside that, or to plow through that, or to burst through that, then you're able to see their true intentions. Does that make sense? So this is the reason why some people feel that they can do these foolish things here, because they feel that they are God. And let's go there, okay? Let's talk about it. Some people have a God complex so deep within their soulless self that they feel like that they're out here, that they will never get caught, nothing bad will happen to them, or who gonna believe you, whatever, however that resonates here. So this is why most cloak themselves, despite them trying to do harmful things towards people. Child, please. That's why the tower is here. Somebody could be a part of a Delta, or maybe you're in a sorority or a fraternity. Maybe you just signed up for one, or maybe you were in one when you were in college. Again, take it how it resonates here. Yes, just bless the Empress on TikTok states, yes. They try to call you crazy when you call them out, but if you're able to open up the door, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'll even put it in this way. They become very startled once you're able to see the illusions, or see past the illusions of the door or the portal that they're trying to hide from you. But once you realize that's just what it is, a portal is just a space to open up or to go through, if that makes sense. And they don't want you to go through that. So the moment that you open the door, or you pull back the veil, or you pull back the curtain here, and you see them, you startle them. So the first thing they're going to do, what are you doing? Oh my God, no, you're crazy. What are you doing? And that's what they want to do, because yet again, they're not thinking, right? The cloak. They think that they're so cloaked, that they're so protected, that they're so hidden that no one will see past their illusions. So the moment that you, yet again, plow through with the tower here, and you were like, man, get that bullshit out of here, man. What you talking about? Get out of here. And you see past it, now they want to call you crazy. Now they want to say you insane. Now they want to say you're delusional, and you're not any of those things. You're not. You're just able to see past their delusion. Does that make sense? So they're not fooling anyone but themselves, okay? Oh man. Imagine, it's like, okay, it's like, you know, they're behind the door and they think they're quiet. I don't want them to know I'm behind the door. Shh. Stay quiet, stay quiet. They're coming, they come. And they're thinking that you're going to fall into this trap here with this charmed energy. So they're trying to charm you with dangles and bangles and gold and all things, bells and whistles. Woo, 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 and ding, ding, ding. This is what they're trying to do. They want you to look at the bells and whistles so they can charm you. That's what a charm is. When you see a charm on someone's arm, you're like, oh, wow, that's pretty. You know, it may draw you closer to look at it because of all of its beautifulness or prettiness here. And they want you to be distracted by the charm. You see the little magic thing right here, the magic wand here. They want you to be, okay, they want you to be charmed by the evil plot that they're trying to inflict onto you. Can y'all see me on YouTube okay? Let me know. Yes, test. They thought you were going to fall for the test of distractions or distractions of tests. Okay? Can y'all see me okay? Let me know. If not, I will end this MF and I'll start right over. Let me know if y'all can see me clearly on YouTube, please. Perfect. Thank you. That's all I need to know. So, all right. So, we have justice and we have group chat here. Okay? Okay, perfect. Thank you. We have justice and we have group chat here. So with that being said here, they wanted to test you to see how much they can get away with their evil plots or evil doings surrounding you here. And this is where they had the group chat. They were telling a person to come towards you, someone who they thought knew you as much as they did. However, it resonates here. Yeah. Go towards the collective. Yeah. Do this. No. Say that. Okay, yeah. Try to get a reaction out of it. Yeah. They're testing you the whole time, but they don't want you to see past the illusion of this so-called test, if that makes sense. And you were able to pass the test of their illusions because, yet again, that's all they have. What do you think illusions are? It's lies. It's lots and lots of lies. That's what illusions are. I'll give you an example. You know the sun is bright outside and you know for a fact that you have substantial evidence where you can prove by just going outside to confirm that the sun is bright and shining. They'll come in with their illusion states or illusion self here, man. What are you talking about? The sun not shining, but you're able to verbatim to go outside and to actually see, but the sun is outside shining, but they're trying to gaslight you or they're trying to turn around, trying to shift it in a different way to kind of test your perception as to what you're truly seeing, if that makes sense. I'll even spin it in this way. The sun is so bright that sometimes most people cannot handle the brightness of the sun. And the more brighter the sun shines, the more truth you're going to see, or the more hotter it becomes, if that makes sense here. So yet again, you were the missing piece, the truth, which is you. You are the missing piece to this puzzle here that they never thought or anticipated that you were. So this is the playbook here. The playbook that they have, narcissistic playbook that they have here, is lies and illusions. Again, the playbook that narcissistic individuals play by, because if you look closely, there's one person here and three people. So there are people trying to tell or guide this person to do certain things, to come towards you here, to say certain things towards you here by the playbook here. And they're trying to get other people to get on board of this so-called playbook here. So that way you would fail the test. No. Absolutely not. This is why some of them frown on you being intuitive. This is why they frown on you connecting to a higher source, a higher power, spirit, God, universe, however way you do your thing, if that makes sense. Because the more that you are connected to self, the more you want to see past their illusions. Does that make sense? They don't want you to see past their illusions, which is why this person feels, literally and figuratively, why they feel like they're going blind, because you're seeing past what they did not want you to see. Oh my God, it's too much. My eyes. You are the sun. And when you were able to plow through that portal or that door here, you were able to see. That makes sense? So death is here. Could be a real one. That makes sense? Okay. It might be a real one. Okay. Then we have complaints here. Now they're complaining. How did you see that? You weren't supposed to see that. How did you get past my cloak? And they were never cloaked. Guilt's going to always make somebody tilt. Always. And a person that is truly guilty in regards to what they have done here, yet again, they're always going to look behind themselves or behind their back or their shoulder here to see if the person that they caused the foolishness towards is aware of what's going on. So they get more fidgety and they become, I don't know. And they become very erratic, or they do things in nature to where you be like, yo, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? You know what I mean? Is everything all right with you? Yeah. They may start to get upset at you. They may get angry at you. They may lash out at you. All of this is in the narcissistic playbook, handbook, manual, pamphlet, however it resonates. However it resonates. Now they want to draw a complaint. Now they drawing a complaint to the group chat. Well, you said to come towards the collective, and you said to say these things, and you said to do these things, and you said this, and you said that, and the group chat is silent. Not a peep coming out this group chat. Everybody don't have nothing to say. Now everybody now mosey on back and staying quiet. No one has a say, or no one is saying anything in regards to how they try to push this person onto you here, and it's justified. Because now this person feeling stuck, despite them taking bad advice from those individuals, a group of people here that came towards you to try to do something towards you. Is a reason why they sent that fool to come towards you, because that same initial group of people that tried to come up against you firstly or initially, they weren't able to do it. And they tried to test you and test you and test you in so many different ways. And every time they tried to test you, you passed the test, they failed the test. Despite them creating the tests, creating the strategies, they still failed their own tests. Well, well, I don't know what, well, don't worry about that. Just do what I say. Well, why do they have to get another person to come towards you to do this foolishness towards you? They're not making sense. I'm going to keep saying it. They don't make sense, and they never will. They don't make sense. They don't make sense at all. Sorry, all this is. Come on, spirit. It's a paper trail. It's a paper trail in building a case. Mm-hmm. The guilt is what's making them create a paper trail here, as I once said before. The guilt is eating them alive. Yes, yes, yes. The guilt is eating them alive to the point where their own guilt is creating a paper trail in the things that they thought could be hidden, and nothing is ever hidden. Especially if you're causing harm towards innocent people, it would never be hidden. The hermit. So now they're trying to retreat and recluse themselves and retract themselves. And all the while they're still trying to retreat and recluse themselves, there's still evidence that they're leaving behind. Still evidence that they're leaving behind. As I mentioned before, I use the eraser as a form of an analogy here. No matter how many times you try to use that eraser to erase all the writings on that paper there, there's still going to be some form of evidence that there was some form of an erasure or some form of omission, somebody trying to omit whatever. However, here, there's still going to be evidence despite them trying to erase what they have created or imprinted on themselves or have written out for themselves here. Racism could be a big part of this. Take this how this resonates for you, okay? Take it how it resonates for you. You may be experiencing racism. Could be experiencing racism at a job, in your own home. You could be experiencing colorism. Take it how it resonates here. But cloud nine, they're not on cloud nine anymore. Thank you. They're not on cloud nine anymore. Or maybe they were never on cloud nine. I'll even spin it in this way. The illusion was that they thought that they were on cloud nine. The illusion was that they thought that they couldn't be touched or they could never get caught or catch. That's the illusion here. And the minute that those clouds start to dissipate and break away, and they fell through, it's like, oh my God, what? I thought I had a cushion. I thought I was safe. I thought it was that. Yeah, they were using illusions. And yet again, illusions are nothing but fog. That's what it is. It's lies. You know what I mean? And they thought that they could have hide behind the clouds that they created here. And this is going viral. So take that how that resonates. It's going viral here. It definitely for sure social media going viral. For sure, for sure, for sure. People are seeing them for their deceitful ways, their very evil, vile ways here, and they can't stand that. So when they realize that you're speaking truth, this, you know, however you're speaking truth here is bringing out the worst part in them that other people have never seen before. Good. Learn to leave people alone. See them and leave them alone. You don't like someone, leave them alone. I'm going to keep saying that until it sticks. See someone and leave them alone. You don't like them, fine. Leave them alone. It is what it is. Don't cause harm to other people. I don't like that person. Okay, fine. You're entitled to that. But leave people alone. And they refuse to leave you alone. So, okay, whatever. That's on them. It could be a lover. It could be Gemini. Gemini is lovers. So you could be the Gemini going through this, or they could be. However it resonates here, okay? Or a lover may have done this towards you by the way of your family members or their family. But again, take it how it resonates, okay? Because it's not going to resonate for everybody. So just take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? Micromanager, workplace bully. So as I mentioned, you may have experienced this on a workspace, workplace, work assignment, however it resonates here. So you may be coming up on some form of like a lawsuit. Could be a class action lawsuit surrounding a company here. Again, take that how that resonates. It could be that you realize that you may have spoke out in regards to the toxic environment surrounding a workplace here. And when you were very open and honest surrounding that, they may have fired you, or they may have started to micromanage your work to just find any little silly whatever they can to kind of get you up out of here. So if you resonate with this part here, you have some form of a you know, some form of a case here, class action suit, maybe a racism case, colorism case. Again, however it resonates, okay? All right, let's see what else, Spirit. This is why they feel like their eyes are hurting them. They can't see because they don't want to see what they did. Let me repeat that. Their eyes are hurting them literally, figuratively, metaphorically, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially. The reason why it's hurting them because they refuse to see it for what they've done to themselves. They did it to themselves. You didn't do this to this person. You told this person to leave you alone. You told this person to go away, and they refuse to do such. So you're like, okay, no problem. So your spirit or your spirit team, however y'all do your thing, showed you a different way because yes, you are that unicorn. You are in your own right, however that resonates for you. And your spirit or your team showed you a different way here. It was like, okay, try it this way. And the moment that you did, you were able to plow past the illusion or fog that they tried to put in front of your face. It's like they didn't want you to know where the attacks were coming from. They didn't want you to know where the gossiping was coming from. They didn't want you to know anything, or they didn't want you to be able to correlate or to connect the hits or the attacks from where it was coming from, if that makes sense. But they're the one that's guilty. And the more that they show their guilty side here, the more they tilt. It's like the Libra scale. You could be a Libra, they could be a Libra. I'll use the Libra scale as an example here. If you put a ton of rocks versus one feather here, it's not going to be even. It's going to be probably lopsided. Or if you put a sack of potatoes and you put rocks there, one is going to be a little bit heavier than the other. So it's not going to be balanced. It's going to be imbalance here. But the moment you take everything off both scales here, you just allow things to play out how it needs to play out. Because eventually, if someone keeps putting rocks, this is figuratively speaking, if someone keeps putting rocks on one part or one aspect of that scale there, and they just keep pounding it and pounding it and pounding it, eventually those rocks are going to fall off because you only can put but so much rocks on that actual scale, if that makes sense here. And they just kept putting and putting and pushing and pushing and pushing as much rocks that they can put onto that one part of the scale here. Eventually to the scale, it fell out from underneath it, or it collapsed from underneath it. So eventually when it collapsed or it fell because there's too much rocks on that one part of the scale, everything now balancing out. Everything. And you are that feather on the other side. Man, that feather ain't gonna do nothing to nobody. Man, they soft. Man, they weak. This is how they look at you. despite you being the feather on the opposite side of the actual scale here. And they look at your feather, meaning you, your uniqueness of who you are, your greatness of who you are. They looked at you as some kind of weakling because you had the feather on the opposite side of the scale. And once they keep putting all their foolishness on the opposite side, everything went back to where it needs to be, balance. That's the justice here. Huh? That's the justice here. That's the justice. Oh, no, I didn't mean, they meant it. They meant it, they meant it, they meant it. They meant it. Effect. It's a domino effect. They couldn't leave well alone. And you were well. You are, you still are, you soon to be again. But you were well and is well. And they refuse to leave well, literally and figuratively. They refuse to leave well all alone. They keep trying to tamper with the wellness of you. They want to see you fall and in a desecration of a space. They want to see you mentally ill. They want to see you psychologically off. They want to see you emotionally imbalanced. All different type of foolishness they're trying to push onto you here. They're the one that caused the domino effect because yet again, they could not leave well alone. Look at the red. You're the only one that's different from these individuals here. You're the only one that is different from that whole group, family dynamic, friends group, whatever, however here. And they thought, well, let me just pluck that and see what happened. It didn't affect you in the way that they thought it did, but it's affecting them in the way that they never expected or thought that it could. Checkmate. Somebody watching Alvin and the Chipmunks? I'm hearing the theme song. We're the Chipmunks. CHIPMUNK. We're the Chipmunks. Alvin, Simon, Theodore. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Somebody watching it. Oh, wait. Or that could be your Halloween costume because Halloween is coming up. Okay, Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. Love, love, love Halloween. But that's what I saw. Okay, let me get back to the read here. Okay, let's see. What else, Spirit? What else, boo? Tell me. Talk to me. What is that? Authority figure. Lack of diversity in positions of power. Yeah. The person that was the person who thought they were in authority to destroy your life gave a task to people that was beneath them here. And whatever, okay? But even so, they were still able to delegate certain tasks to kind of make you slow down or be afraid of them, whatever the case may be. It still got back to the main person, or the main person is the guilty one here. So all paths lead back to the actual originator or the initial person that created this here. And they're like, oh, snap. What did I get myself into? Oh, snap. I never thought it would have came back to me. I mean, why not? Like, why not? It says shots fired. Yeah, shots are fired. I ain't going to tap into that part. Let's see what else, though. Right? We'll just put it that way, the truth. Okay? Truth is fired. I'll put it in that way. Okay? I'll put it that way. The truth is fired. Yeah, they were spell word. Yes, it was. And it may not have actually been like actual physical spell word. Okay? People can project onto you. People can speak onto you. Their feelings may project onto you. There are many different types of work, if that makes sense. So take that how that resonates. But there was some form of a negative energetic push outs or projection onto you here to make you succumb to what they're trying to do to you here. But this person really loved to use their eyes. They may not have said anything to you because they know that if they said something to you, you probably would tear that off the bone, child. Tear it off the fray, okay? And they can't handle what you have to say, which is why they decided to go this route here by cloaking themselves. Again, they were never cloaked here, but they felt like if they cloaked themselves, that you wouldn't be able to see. So this is why some of you guys, you may hear that you guys are the villain in their story. They made you the villain in their story and they wanted you to play that out. They created the character of the divine collective to play the parts of being the villain in their story. Maybe you guys are, maybe you guys aren't. That you're going to have to take that how that resonates here. But they wanted you to fill a specific role in their story, in their life, in their whatever chapter here, their movie, however it resonates for you here, because they wanted you to look like something that you are not. And it failed. Once the smoke clear, once the illusions clear, once the fog clear, you're seeing who the true, real villain is. This narcissistic person who thought that they could have won over you or try to do whatever they're trying to do towards you here. Abuse. So they did abuse the resources and tools that they had. They did. Even tried to astral project onto you here because they just thought that you were, man, they're nobody. The collective, man, they ain't got nobody. And then they strategically try to put you by yourself so that way you can't fight them back. They strategically, from their playbook or handbook or pamphlet here, tried everything possible to try to put you by yourself so you could feel like you can't handle them. Okay. Whatever. Like I keep telling you guys, just because they may think that you're by yourself doesn't mean you're by yourself. Huh? Just because you're by yourself doesn't mean you're by yourself. And they get into strong tests. And this is a very, very, very strong test, a very hard test that even they can't beat. Oh, the collective is doing something towards me. What is the collective doing but just wanting to thrive in life? What is the collective doing? But just not trying, but is thriving in life. They're so disturbed by you thriving in life. They're so disturbed by it that they think that your thriving is a form of disrespect or it's a form of a big slap in their face. Maybe it is because they refuse to do the work. So because you're doing the work to ensure that you're living the best life that you want for yourself, you should be at fault for someone that can't do what you do. Again, this is not a you issue, collective. That's a them issue. You versus them. You versus them. That's a them issue. Let's say straight jacket. Now they're getting loopy because they can't figure out how this flipped on them. Yet again, they were in an illusion state. They put that illusion up so no one can see. No one can see past their eyes. That's why some of them wear glasses, them dark shades. Take them pictures off. Let me see behind your eyes. Some people refuse to wear regular glasses because they don't want you to see them in their true nature, their true spirit. And their true spirit is very unclean, very dirty, very dank. Oh, they see me. Yeah, we see you, heifer. Yeah, we see you. Yes. Father Time states on TikTok, eye contact is a problem for liars. And that could be spun in many different ways. Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. Yes, eye contact is a problem for liars. They could never look you in your face. When you watching them directly, dead on, straight in your face. Why are you looking at me like that? Stop looking at me like that. Now they're trying to shift. They're trying to distract you from watching them dead in their eyes. Literally, dead in their eyes. Literally, they're dead in their eyes. Literally. They don't want you to see the death in their eyes, the darkness in their eyes. They don't want you to see that. They want you to just take things as is because they said so. Do not do that to yourself. You'll be doing a huge disservice to yourself if you do that foolishness. Speaking towards the divine collective here. Don't you do that. And don't have anybody second guess. What you see is what you see. What you see is what you see. Must be a reason why you're seeing what you're seeing. Don't allow anybody to gaslight you into seeing something that you seeing something else. You were like, that ain't what I saw. I know what I saw. Nah, not this deck. Give me another deck, Spirit. All right, let's do this one. We have wrong person. Misread signs. Yeah, you were the wrong person for them to be doing this foolishness to. You were the wrong person here. They misread the signs. They misread. They took your kindness literally for weakness. They looked directly in your eyes for the ones that did, and they misread what they saw. They misread what they saw in regards to you, so they deemed you as the wrong person. Oh no, something off with that person. You're the unicorn, of course. If you see a unicorn, you gonna think something off. What's wrong with that person? Ew, why they look like that? Ew, why they this? Oh, they're so different. Oh no, I can't relate to them. I can't this, I can't that. So they condemned you as being the wrong person here, which is the reason why they felt so justifiable or obligated to do foolish things towards you. They don't make sense. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. No matter how many times I flip it, fricassee it, fry it up, boil it up, whatever, bake it up. No matter how many times I spin this to you, the bottom line here is narcissistic individuals don't make sense. They don't make sense. They don't. They live a life of nonsensical. They live a nonsensical reality of life. They're not even living life. They're surviving it. Big difference too. Support. So they want you to support their deliriousness or their delusional state, because that's what narcissistic individuals are. They're very delusional. Very, 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 very delusional. And they want you to support that. They want you to align with their delusion. No. Let them stay right there in their delusion state and you move forward. But that's what they were unprepared for. Because they never thought you would have been able to get out of this sticky situation that they tried to place you in here. Remember, you are the spider web. You are that spider. And they trying to come into your web and trying to destroy the web that you created for self, the intricate, delicate parts of self they tried to destroy, but they were unprepared when they came into your web. Sorry, I had to turn off my alarm. They were unprepared when they became humiliated. Oh, what's that web? Oh, let me see. I want to look closer. Oh, I don't like how that web looks. Oh, no, I don't like that. Ooh, ooh. When most people see a spider in this element or see a spider web form, the first thing they're going to do, they're going to take some, oh, get it out. No, 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 no. And they thought that they can get you out of your own environment or your own lair. only for them to be humiliated at the end, because they got caught up in the same web that they're trying to destroy. The shadow side. The shadow side of you is what they never saw of you. And that could be spun in many different ways. But there are parts that are coming out of you that they don't like to see, because it makes them afraid. It makes them nervous because they never thought you had that side of you. And again, the shadow side of you can be spun in many different ways. Many different ways. It could be from a physical aspect, a spiritual aspect, a mental aspect, a psychological. It could be spun in many different ways. So you go ahead and take that how that resonates. You have a bigger shadow side to them, if that makes sense. And that's what's bringing them shame. Oh my God, wait, no, okay, wait, no, oh, no, I'm sorry. Now they want to come back with the I'm sorry and I love yous and I didn't mean it. They meant it because they did it. They were intentional with their intentions. They had a thought. They didn't even think about the thought, but when they had the thought, they executed on the thought that they had, which makes them that they were very intentional with the thought that they had, which is why dog eating their shame right now. It's why they feel so shameful and humiliated, because they refuse to leave you alone. Imagine someone trying to hold a grudge against you because they won't leave you alone. They want to hold a grudge against you or towards you because they refuse to leave you alone. Hey, Wilfred. This is an illusioned grudge. This doesn't make sense. You see, when you're able to break things down from a different perspective and you be like, man, this don't make sense. Why would a narcissistic person have a grudge towards the collective when the collective didn't do anything to them to begin with? If that makes sense, and you didn't do anything to this person, so where would the grudge come from? Or why would there be a grudge? If that makes sense. So you're able to break down, you be like, yeah, that don't make sense. And they don't like the fact that you see that they don't make sense. Because it creates, or it turns on a timer to their self-destruction. This is where the grudge comes in. Well, let them go grudge over there somewhere. Now they feel challenged by you. After coming up against you, trying to overthrow your boundaries, now they feel challenged by you. Okay, Sarah, what will be, will be. I mean, bad vibes. Now they got bad vibes. I like that. Brian said, Brian Burke says on TikTok, I was taught to flush shit, not play with it. Like that. Oh man. Yep, concern. And they weren't expecting that. They weren't expecting any concerns to come through, because yet again, they thought that this so-called lying of a cloak here, that's what a cloak is. A cloak is nothing but a bunch of lies. Is what it is. And they thought that they could hide behind their lies, which is why they weren't expecting you to hit them from left field. Oh, well, leave people alone, karmic. Leave them alone. Leave people alone. Go about your life. Leave people alone. Shoot. Making my way downtown. Da, 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 da. If I could fall into the sky, if I could walk up, how would we go, child? So the journey here is 1,000 miles to imprisonment, because they feel that they're walking a really, really fine path. And the only path that they have left is a path to imprisonment. The 1,000 miles here. So yet again, going back to what I stated before, this is why they feel played and unpaid. They feel played because they were playing a game of checkers. You were playing chess. And they thought that they can put all their bets or place all their bets onto this checkerboard or whatever, however it resonates here. And when you came out with your pieces, he was like, I'm not putting my chess pieces on no damn checkerboard. That don't even make sense. Well, no, just do it. Just do it. No, just do it. No, just don't worry about it. Just put your pieces on it. No, you don't put your chess pieces on no damn checkerboard. Do not. And we gonna end it here, okay? We gonna end it here. It's so pitiful now. They're so pitiful. We got Cancer here, baby. We have Scorpio, however it resonates. You could be a Scorpio, you could be the Cancer sign that I've mentioned. You could be an Aquarius. They could be. However it resonates. Nose all running and stuff, child. We have Virgo here. We have Taurus. We have Capricorn. I'm going to do a couple more. Hold on. Stay with me. Stay with me. We have Libra. Hey, Miss Rose. We have Sagittarius. And Gemini. As I mentioned, literally, figuratively, you're going to get strong confirmation that this person has lost all sight of themselves, if that makes sense. They lost sight of the actual bigger picture, literally, figuratively, spiritually, okay? They've lost sight of themselves. They lost sight in regards to who they thought you weren't, or maybe are. It could be spun in many different ways. But they lost sight of it all. That makes sense. Literally, they lost sight. Figuratively, they lost sight. Spiritually, they lost sight of it all, which is why at the end of it, they feel played and unpaid. Y'all go out there and be the best person that I know y'all can be. Okay, go out there and be freaking great. Go out there and be freaking successful. If people get in your way, step on their goddamn necks. Tell them, get out your damn way. You got stuff to do on this thing called Earth. You hear me? You got stuff to do. Okay? So make sure you grab my copy of this book here. Make sure Wisdom Beyond Wood is readily available for purchase on Amazon. It was created to help you guys get through narcissistic abuse from many different shapes and forms. Okay? It breaks it down in this book here. There's 309 pages in this book, and it's readily available on Amazon to purchase. Okay? Again, I thank you so much for your immense support. It is truly appreciated. You are appreciated and you are loved, especially over here. If you're on the right side of things, you are loved over here. Okay? I want nothing but the best for y'all. I want nothing but the best for y'all. Go out there, be great. Love you guys. See you on the next one. Bye, TikTok. Mwah. See you later. Instagram and Facebook. Mwah. Love, love, love you guys. See y'all later. And YouTube, love, love, love to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all are so cool, so appreciated. Love you guys. I'll see you on the next one.